What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. We are starting this investigation off at the smaller part of the creek on this side of the property after there's been many signs and sightings of a Bigfoot in the surrounding areas. Now that they're starting to come in close, I've heard wood knocks, which that is the only thing that I've experienced so far. I haven't found any new signs or anything like that. Tonight's mission is very simple. We're going to sit. We're going to do a couple wood knocks, do a couple whoops, see if we can capture anything on camera. But that's not where it's going to stop, guys. Tomorrow we are going to the actual gifting tree, the big part of the creek. We're going to set up. The sounds of the wood knocks came from this side of the property, so I want to check this out first. And then we're going to move to the big part of the creek tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It's all going to be in one video. So let's get right into it. All right, guys. So like I was telling you, the only thing that I have personally witnessed is a couple tree knocks and what sounded like a big boulder or like a big tree branch being slammed on the ground. You know what it sounds like when a tree is cut down and it hits the ground? Just that boom. That's what it was. It was like 4 or 5 thumps, just boom, boom, boom. And those sounds came from this general area. Like I said, I haven't been over here to actually look around and investigate, but I actually made a community post telling you guys about all this. I was back there at the creek fishing and stuff, and that's when I experienced. So let's go ahead and walk around. Let's see if we can see anything new. Let's just see what all we can capture. All right, this is pretty interesting and worth noting right here. So you see this one little tree. Don't look too weird, does it? But when you come over here, you got one just kind of laid up. There's another long one sitting right there. Kind of looks like a start of a shelter, which the old shelters, they're back up in here. You can see how that's all aligned, but look at this. This is laid out in a weird way, which it could be completely natural, but just looked weird to me. Worth noting that all these trees are just kind of laid here. As you can see, every single one of them doesn't have any branches on them or anything. Pretty interesting. Now check this out, guys. We got a brand new tree bend for this year, and that tip is pointing in the direction of the creek, which we have talked about that for multiple years now, about the tree bends pointing towards water. It's kind of like a waypoint or a sign for them where there's a trail or a marker of some sort. It's pretty interesting. All right, guys, so right here, here's another new tree bend, and you see how that tip, it's actually pointing down there in the bottom of the creek, and I'm going to prove my point right here, unedited or anything, that these tree bends are pointing towards water. So you see that it's pointing that way. We're going to walk right on down here. Now I want you guys to see this. It's really interesting. So I'm not editing anything out right here. I'm not cutting it. Now the creek might be dried up because we haven't had any rain, but I want to show you guys something. How all these tree bends is leading to water. See? There's the little runoff of it. And if you go hung up on a branch, I got hung up on a branch. You go right down here. Here's the creek. This is the small section of the creek right there. And it runs all throughout the woods right there. This is the smaller creek that leads to the bigger part of the creek. Now what's interesting about this is I like looking in the soft spots for any tracks or anything, because a lot of times I use these trails to move through, and a lot of the times they will leave a track, and I mean, you can't miss it. I mean, these creatures are freaking massive. But yeah, that just goes to show you that these tree bends are pointing towards water back here. Pretty interesting. Pretty wild stuff. Holy crap, guys. I just found a massive break in a tree. We're about to walk up to it. Could be completely natural. I'm not saying it came from an actual Bigfoot. We want to go in this with an open mind, but this was definitely not here last year. And what's ironic, it's right here beside the old gifting tree. So let's go ahead, walk over here. Let's take a look at it. All right, guys. There's the old gifting tree. Check this out. Right here. Look at that. That thing has been snapped. Look how massive that break is. That right there is freaking wild. I mean, you can see how big that tree is. That's a massive freaking tree. Which, I mean, for these creatures, that's nothing for them to pull down and snap. I don't know. I thought that was worth noting, though. You can see it's somewhat fresh. Wow. All right, guys. It's been about 45 minutes, a little update. I haven't really seen anything else other than what I've already showed you. So what we're going to do, we're going to wait till it gets dark. We're going to come out here with a squatch stick, an old squatch stick. We're going to do some wood knocks, do some whoops, and we're just going to sit and listen and see if we can get a response. And then tomorrow we're going to the big part of the creek. So you guys stay tuned. All right, guys, it's officially dark now, as you can see. I found a nice location. Now, I was walking back here to try to set up because I wanted to set up somewhere close to the smaller part of the creek, but in the general area where I heard the wood knocks and stuff a couple of nights ago, I stumbled up on a few bones over here that's right here by this tree. So I figured this would be a really good spot. It'd be something else if I'm potentially in, you know, their dining room, if you will. But I'm gonna walk over here. I'm gonna show you these bones. It's pretty crazy. I don't even know what the bones are from or what it could be, you know, what part of the body it's from. But I do got the squatch stick. We're going to get ready and do some wood knocks here in just a minute. But I want to show you guys these bones. Take a look at this. All right. So if you walk right over here, have a look at that. Got some bones right there. All right, guys. So here's a better look at the bones. Look at that. Don't know what part or what animal it even came from. It's a solid bone, though. Now, I'm not going to be shining the light. Don't even know why I'm touching these things. I'm not going to be shining a bunch of lights and stuff back here. I want to try to keep a low light profile. I'm going to do some wood knocks, some whoops. We're just going to sit in here for a little while and listen. I have been in here for about 15-20 minutes, not running any cameras or anything, just listening. I haven't heard anything yet. So let's go ahead and do the wood knocks and let's see if we can get a response. All right, we got the squatch stick right there. Now, a little tip. You want to kind of beat the tree a little bit. Find that sweet spot to get that real solid knock. As soon as I did that, I heard something walking over here in this thick stuff. Didn't sound huge or nothing, but something's definitely walking over here. I don't know. I thought I had heard something over there. Now, I'm not too terribly close to the gifting tree, but I'm not that far neither. Let's say I'm about 150 yards from that gifting tree. Like I said, I wanted to be in the general area where I actually heard the wood knocks the other night. But as it stands right now, it is pretty quiet. I'm going to stand out here for a little longer and see if we can capture anything. All right, guys, it's around 11 o'clock at night. I've been standing out here for about an hour now, just listening, being quiet. Haven't heard really too much. So either they're on the other side where the big part of the creek is, where the newer gifting tree is that we were leaving gifts at last year, or they're just being really quiet tonight. I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more wood knocks, followed behind some whoops, and see if we get a response. That was back there. That was a whoop. That was one solid whoop. That was back there by the creek. I just said that too. That's way back there where the big part of the creek is, where we're going to go to tomorrow. I don't know if the camera picked that up, but that was one solid whoop, whoop. Whoop. He didn't do it again. That's pretty wild. I think this is really weird, guys. So if you're a Bigfoot researcher, let me know down in the comments if this has ever happened to you. So during the fall and winter, it's like they just disappear, right? You don't hear about any sightings, you don't see any signs, any tracks. It's like, where do they go? Do they have these super powers? A lot of people have speculated that for a while. Like when I was at the creek a couple nights ago, when I heard the wood knocks and the beating on the ground and stuff, I could hear something big walking right up to me. And I mean, the woods wasn't that thick at all. And I felt like something was watching me, and I felt the urge to just wanting to leave. It was really wild, though. It was kind of scary. It's like, do they have these cloaking abilities where they can just disappear and walk up on you? I don't know. But that has been speculated for some time now. So we heard that one whoop back there. I haven't heard any tree knocks or anything. So what I think we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, I've been in here for about an hour, probably a little more than that, just listening. That's the only whoop that I've heard, and that was a ways away. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go check out the big part of the creek tomorrow and see if there's any fresh signs. So you guys stay tuned for that. All right, you guys, we are here at the bigger part of the creek. I want to take you guys down here to the back where I was fishing at the other day, where I heard those tree knocks. I think that is the general area where we heard that whoop last night. Of course, it's going to be hard to actually pinpoint that exact location, but what I want to do is go ahead and look around for some fresh signs and see if we can figure out any of the freaky deaky shit that is going on in these woods. This right here, guys, is a massive creek. I mean, if you're talking about Bigfoot habitat, this is prime right here. I can even see some fish down there swimming around. Water's pretty clear today. Got a foxhole right there. That could be Bigfoot's next meal right there. It could be living in that hole. Now, what in the Sasquatch shit is this? Oh, looks like that thing rotted out. That's probably natural. Got some more logs up here. Although the fall could be natural. Isn't that a little weird how that snapped and fell in between those trees. I mean, it's jammed in between the trees. Here's a better look at it. Look at that. Damn. I thought originally that the tree came from that little hole right there, and it didn't. Where did this thing come from, and how did it break like that? And that's lodged into the tree, but these trees are completely fine. That is weird. Pretty squatchy. These woods hold some crazy mysteries back here. I'm telling you guys, some freaky deaky shit, especially at nighttime. Alright guys, check this out. Got a whole pile of logs just stacked up. Isn't that weird? I mean, they're stacked perfectly in between these two trees. I don't know how long this wood's been sitting here. You can see that it's rotten though. It kind of looks like there's a shelter being made right there. I don't know, this place is looking mighty squatchy. I'm gonna walk on over there to where the creek is and try to follow that up. See if there's any more fresh signs back here. Alright, so I'm back over here by the creek now. You know, now that I'm thinking back on it, guys, that pile of sticks just laid up in the middle of the woods in between two trees like that is kind of crazy. You know, I mean, we are really far back here in the woods. I mean, there is a small trail, but I can't really see any humans coming all the way back here just to stack up wood like that. I mean, for what? So this right here is one of the old shelters. I showed you guys this last year, how it's wedged in between those two. That has literally been tucked underneath the tree. That's pretty wild looking. We are almost at the spot where I was hearing the wood knocks and stuff. So let's get on back here and keep looking. All right, guys. It has been a journey getting back here, I tell you what. So, does this look familiar, you guys? For the ones that's been with me for a while, this is the gifting tree. Where I was fishing was about, I don't know, 60, 70 yards, maybe 100 yards that way. And that's where I heard the wood knocks, which we can walk over there in just a minute and look. So there's a sandy area over here where I was fishing. I would like to walk over there just to see if there's any tracks or anything. But this right here is the general area where the whoops were coming from last night. Like I said, it's hard to actually pinpoint it, but this is the general area right here, and this is the gifting tree. I want you guys to leave me a comment down below. What should we leave at this gifting tree? Should I bring a voice recorder back out here and put that out and see if we can capture any more audio? We're not going to do any nighttime investigation here tonight. I don't want to make this video too long, but I am going to be doing that in the next upcoming Bigfoot video, because this right here is a freaking hot spot, you guys. But let's go walk back here. Let's see if there's any footprints or anything like that in this soft soil. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now that right there is new, guys. Now I don't know if that's an actual ongoing shelter. You see how this limb is jammed up in between these two trees right here? Or if that's like a marker of some sort. But that is brand new. That was not like that the other day. That is crazy. Wow. And I mean, once again, y'all can see there's the creek right there. All of this activity is happening by water. You better get out of here, bird. You're gonna be Bigfoot food. All right, and here is a general look of where I was standing. Oh, something's running over there. Something's running right back there. But this is the general area right here, guys. So this is the spot right here where I was hearing the wood knocks and the banging on the ground. It was coming back from back there. Now, back there, that's the spot that we investigated last night. We did wood knocks and a whoop. A whoop was returned back here in this general area. So there's a lot of crazy activity happening around this whole piece of property. And this is a massive piece of property, guys. So, oh yeah, we're supposed to be looking for prints. Let's go ahead and look for prints. So we're just gonna look around this little sandy area, see if we see any tracks, any prints. That's tracks, but that's human. Whoa, that looks like something right there. This right here, that kind of looks like something, could be nothing. I mean, you can see, I don't know, that's not really toes, but that's a perfect little indentation. We'll just go ahead and dismiss that. Whoa, there's another, whoa, that's a big, that looks big. I'll put my foot beside it. Look how big that is. I don't know. That kind of looks like a toe print right there. I don't know. I don't see anything else. But yeah, it seems like right over there is where a lot of the activity happens at. I don't know. Leave it down in the comments, guys. Do you want me to bring a voice recorder down here, see if we can capture some audio? What should we leave at the gifting tree? Maybe we can come out here and catch a fresh fish or something. I don't know. You know, a lot of people has been on me for years, like, put up a trail camera, put up a trail camera. Guys, I'm telling you, and I've said this before, they avoid the trail cameras. Once they discover that they're there, they're out of there and they don't come back. That's why we don't ever get really good footage of them off of trail cameras. They are highly intelligent. Look at this, guys. Found a dead turtle. It's pretty weird. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do now is walk up this old logging road. We're going to check to see if there's any signs over here. Now this is kind of the exact opposite side of where the gifting tree is, but it all joins together. All right. X marks the spot. I don't know, it's like these things, they leave these weird structures and weird symbols. It's like they're the only ones that know what this stuff means. I don't know, pretty weird. And by the way, I am fully convinced that that turtle that we found was eaten by Bigfoot. A little Bigfoot snack, if you will. Now, we're definitely seeing new signs out here for this year. Like I said, a few of these things I never even noticed until now. You know, they definitely weren't here last year. Now, we're probably only going to walk half this trail because this is a really long trail. We'll probably walk the other half in the next video whenever you guys tell me what you want me to put at the gifting tree. Look, that's the old... This is the old structure from last year. Look at that. That's probably one of the most impressive structures that I found back here. Oh, look. Look how that's wedged. That's new. They might be still using this. That's new, how that's wedged in between there. But yeah, this shelter or structure, marker, whatever they use this as, was here last year. Very, very impressive. I'll probably use whatever you guys pick to put at the gifting tree for the next video based on the most liked comment. And you guys got to keep in mind, this is the beginning of the season. We're going to be doing this a lot this year. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. If you enjoy this type of stuff and ghost hunts and all that cool stuff, subscribe to the channel. Make sure your post notifications are turned on because YouTube has a problem in sending out notifications. But yeah, we're only going to walk half this trail. This is a huge trail. Look at that. No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's natural. See that? It just probably got hit by lightning or something. That's where it came from. But if that thing was like 50 to 100 feet that way, that would not be natural. That means something big done picked it up and toted it through the woods. Now, right up along this trail, like right through here somewhere, I think it was right up here actually. Me and my son was back here, if you guys remember that episode, and we found a big old track right here in the middle of the trail where one had crossed right through here. Look, there's some tree bends right there, and that's pointing right down there into the creek. The creek is right there, you guys. Right there. That's the creek. Pointing towards water. Look, that's kind of a tree bend. That could be natural right there, but that's been tucked underneath that tree. That's kind of all twisted all together right there. All that little stuff. But yeah, we found a track. My son's the one that actually spotted it, and it was right in here somewhere. Probably not going to get a response during the day. They are way more active at night. But I'm sure they're in here and they're watching me right now. They know I'm here. What was that? I actually have no idea what that was. It's like something blew at me. It was like right off this trail, but right over here in this thick stuff. It was like, whew. I don't know. That was pretty weird. I don't know. Some freaky deaky shit happening back here in these woods. Alright guys, well this is about as far as I'm gonna go, but look at this. Look how impressive that is. You got a tree bend right here. X marks the spot right there. You got like this long log that's kind of pinned in between these two trees that's twisted. Look at this. Let's get a little closer to it. Look at that right there. That's pretty wild. I don't know what the X's mean. Oh wow, and look right behind here where the X is, look at that tree bend. Look how freaking crazy that is. That's literally tucked underneath that tree, and that tree bend is pointing towards the creek because the creek is right over there behind me. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and just walk the rest of the trail in the next video, you guys. All right, you guys, what a really cool way to start off the 2026 Bigfoot expedition. Found some bones, heard some whoops, found a bunch of fresh signs for this year. We're just now getting started, guys. So like I said, if you enjoy this type of stuff, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We got some other locations that we're going to be checking out in the next video. I want you guys to let me know what you want me to leave at the gifting tree. We're going to be scouting the rest of the trail and doing all that fun stuff. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, drop me a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember to keep it spooky, keep it squatchy, because we're going to keep squatching. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.